You know how Guy would know about patching a waterbed?
I didn't have to patch mine, but
You did have one.
I did. It was nice because you turn on the heater underneath that thing.
Oh, that does sound
in the
nice.
wintertime.
Okay.
Like you would sink down in that sucker.
Could you imagine trying to get out of it now?
Can you imagine how many ladies I had to give a safety briefing to?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, many, so many.
This is how you get in.
A safety briefing.
You can't get out.
This is Big Dink Energy, the pickleball podcast that's half insight, half nonsense, and all entertainment. If you love pickleball, don't take yourself too seriously and think a little trash talk makes the game better, welcome home. This is the place where life and pickleball intersect. We celebrate the chaos, call out the nonsense, and put the fun back in dysfunction. You're either in or you're out. And if you're still listening, you're in. So let's go. Big Dink Energy starts now. We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond the Thunderdome. Thank you, Tina Turner. And thank you to our sponsor of this episode, the official podcast of Pickleball, Big Dink Energy. Here's our sponsor, Dink and Dash and Big Dink Energy. That's us. We'll be at PickleCon this year. Yes, you heard it right. And you need to be there too. What are you doing that you can't be at PickleCon? Let's go. It's going down in Kansas City, Missouri, July 24th through the 26th. And it's packed with everything you could want. Tournaments, yep. Clinics, vendors, you bet. Education, content creators, and community. And our very own Stephanie will be teaching a fun booty on the court dance warm-up activation. So you're not going to want to miss that. Whether you're looking to learn, compete, meet new pickleball friends, or just soak up all things pickleball and probably even have a pickle, this one event you don't want to skip. Get your tickets now at picklecon.com. I said picklecon.com, and come say hi when you see us. All right. So something that came up to me this week was something that you don't even really think about. It is just there, and nobody's ever seen one built. Nobody's ever seen one in a baby status. It is your junk drawer. And so why do we all have a junk drawer? If you don't, and you don't know what I'm talking about, you're missing out. But what's the psychology behind that? Why do we keep crayons? 3 crayons, one of them's broken. Why do we keep a key to a padlock we don't even have anymore? And why can't our generation, my generation, of course, just can't throw things away? So I wanted to talk about a junk drawer. Like, how do you make a junk drawer? How do they start? What's in them? What makes a good junk drawer?
Well, I know when we first built our house, we didn't have a junk drawer.
No, we had all brand new fresh drawers.
All brand new
Because
fresh
we stayed
drawers.
up late night papering them.
And I, put little dividers and everything in there. I like container stuff. And we're 6 years in, and they're kind of pretty good still.
Oh, that's great.
They're pretty good still.
We have 2 that are, we have 3. 3 on the end.
No, 2.
No, because the one has
pins and it still has pins and everything.
The one on the very end, though, it has a thing from a game where you have to keep your lips wide open and talk without moving your lips.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
That thing is in there because I'm trying to find that game.
Yeah.
So I can put it away.
Maybe it's in a junk cabinet.
I don't have very many junk areas.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're pretty clean. For the most part, for a woman, you're clean.
But for the one that we do have, it has started slowly getting there, but I can tell you why.
Why?
Ugh.
Children.
Okay.
The
Because
worst.
it's not me.
The
I
worst.
get rid of stuff. I don't keep soy sauce packets.
Oh, I do.
I have no need for them. I don't care. I don't need ketchup packets. I have my own ketchup.
What if I have to charge a Nokia phone from 2001?
Now, I did find... Now, I had the very first iPhone when I got it in 2006, the day it came out.
Oh, my gosh.
I literally found that cord
That's awesome.
the other day.
Yeah.
But I kept it because I still have that phone. So they're together now.
Okay.
But
I don't think Apple's updating that one anymore.
I don't think so either. But it's nostalgia. So that's why I've kept it. But, I mean... Like the gift cards with like 73 cents, like just
throw them away.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like go use it or give it to your kids. I like to give my merchandise credit to my 16-year-old.
There you go.
Yeah, birthday candles. That's always one that's in a junk drawer.
You're not 3. You're never going to be 3 again. So just get rid of it.
Well, it could be an M. Could turn into an M for a candle for mom. Could do a Mother's Day cake and you turn it at 3 sideways.
I know some people have like takeout menus, but it's like, are we doing that anymore?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
don't we just use DoorDash?
Right.
DoorDash. Grubhub.
Not Grubhub.
No.
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
So why are there even menus anymore? Like, why
I
do
don't
you
know.
have
We don't
those?
keep those.
No, everything's that's all digital now. Maybe those are nostalgia things.
But things like safety pins, rubber bands, like they just need a home. If they have a home, then it's fine to keep them. Like,
Every piece of furniture comes with its own Allen wrench. I mean, how many times do I need this one specific Allen wrench?
I do agree. Like, I like to have a lot of Allen wrenches though, because we use them a lot for a lot of things.
Yeah, I have whole sets of them out in the toolbox in the garage.
But I'm not going out there.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, but then
I want it now.
now you've got to gather up 17 Allen wrenches of all different sizes and just go through them like some weird janitor.
No, because I'm not building anything that needs a weird Allen wrench.
Yeah.
I'm not building anything, period.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm only using it to tighten things that are normal Allen wrench size.
Right.
If it has to go beyond that, I'm getting somebody else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not doing that.
Other famous things, markers that no longer mark.
Yeah, I don't know why you go to use it and then it doesn't work, so they just put it back in the drawer. That's my kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They don't just walk over to the trash.
If you haven't had
throw it away.
kids yet, rethink it.
And owner's manuals. Oh my gosh. I was
Yes.
helping my dad move some stuff, and he had a box because he's a box saver. And we talked about this on a podcast
I'm a
before.
box saver for
I
sure.
am not a box saver, and I do not like it. That's worse than the junk drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, you got to save that owner's manual. I said, Dad, you know you're just going to go to ChatGPT or Google. And
Right. We
you're
don't
not
need to
gonna,
save those
You're
anymore.
not going to go find it. It has all the answers. No one is using it a manual anymore. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, in this, I guess you go back to, who was that lady? Marie Kondo,
Yes.
who wants everything just
Does it bring you
minimized.
joy?
Yeah.
Does it bring you joy? I don't know if it's going to bring me joy. That particular screwdriver that I got free with
That-
this cabinet,
So
I don't know.
The other thing that I've tend to find in those is keys. And I know people don't get rid of them because the second you do, that's going to be the key that you were looking for.
Right.
Nobody
Oh, yeah.
knows what they go to until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you need to just trick the universe, like throw it in a pretend trash.
Pretend to throw it away, like put
Pretend-
it underneath the trash bag.
Right. So one of the things, like just as far as hoarding goes, like I know people have a really hard time getting rid of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So just put it in a trash bag or a what are those called? Like a Walmart bag.
Yeah.
And, put it away, like in a cabinet or something. And then in 6 months, if you haven't used it, just toss that bag,
Just throw it away, yeah.
But I don't know. What
Well,
do you keep in your junk drawer?
My junk drawer typically has zip ties. For some reason, we have an extreme amount of zip ties and we don't ever use them, so I don't know why we have them. The only thing I can
to
think
be
about
fair,
is
you're
Christmas.
you're not the one that would use the zip ties anyhow, so you don't know if they're depleting in the resources.
I mean, valid.
Zip ties are important, though. That's a good junk drawer item.
I have a lot of command hooks and the stickies for the command hooks.
Yeah.
That shit's expensive.
'Cause
Don't throw those things out.
I know. I don't want to throw them out and I don't want to lose them. And
I have that in one of my drawers, too.
I don't want to
We
put
do.
holes in my wall. And then, of course, your normal stuff. Pens, notebooks. I
Yeah.
tend to have a lot of random notepads and notebooks and random things. I do have a drawer specifically for fast food condiments. So I have
No,
a drawer. It's organized. I have all of my Chick-fil-A sauces over here. I
Do you
keep
have horsey sauce
I keep everything organized. I don't have any horsey sauce now. I
from
haven't.
Arby's?
I haven't had that in a while.
Why do you keep those?
Because they're
I
easy. The condiment packet is a lot easier than pulling the whole thing out of the
I am a
fridge.
dippy dip kind of girl. Like I want to dip anything and everything in some kind of sauce. And we don't typically keep like bottles of it in the house. The only thing we really keep are like your normal ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard.
Right. I guess I could see that if you like different types of sauces.
I do.
So
I love all kinds of different sauces and I love to dip everything in them and make my own little concoctions. It's so fun.
oh Lord.
That's another whole podcast, I
Yeah.
think. I feel
I
like
do.
right there.
I love that.
You know what the other thing is? And this is something that is there's so many of them in a junk drawer, but then when you want one, it's not there. And that's tape measures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I thought
Can
you were gonna-
never find the tape measure.
Never.
I thought
And we
you were gonna
bought
say-
little ones for the junk drawer specifically so that we would have one, but
It's
they-
another
they
kid
tend-
issue. It's a kid issue. They
use
take it out,
and
they use
don't.
it, and they just put it down
Or
wherever
the
they are.
scissors. Why do
Oh
we
my
buy
g-
20
do
packs
not.
of scissors a year and I can never find a pair of scissors? Where do they go?
I have to hide pairs of scissors
Same.
because
I
they
keep
will
them
go
in my
missing.
nightstand now.
Yeah.
So
I
the
put,
kids
I
don't
put
get
10
them.
pairs of scissors in Guy's stocking last year.
Yeah, I got scissors as
Because
a
he
gift.
gets
Yes.
so pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I store them everywhere, but now I store those little, what
Little
are those
zip cutters.
Oh, the like box cutters.
Little
box cutters.
from
We have
Amazon.
them
Like the little ones.
Yeah, we have them everywhere. I bought 30 No, 300.
Oh my gosh.
300, it was Temu. So you can buy one or you can buy 300.
So now you have a box cutter drawer.
But I store them everywhere. I got 3 sitting right here.
I love that.
Because I use them to open vegetables. I use them to, now I don't need your damn scissors, guy.
Oh,
She's got her box cutters.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. The scissors is a big thing for us around here. Some of the other things in our junk drawer, obviously pennies. Pennies end up in there. Are we afraid to throw them away?
Well, hell, they're going away, so you better save them.
Yeah.
They're going away. I think it's just maybe we're just afraid to get rid of things. Like our generation is afraid to get rid of things.
I am. I
because-
mean, that's why my closet is full the way it is with
my
shirts
God,
that I
yeah.
haven't worn shirts in there in like 5 years. But I'm not giving them away. I earned them. I collected them. They're not going
guess.
anywhere. They're not going anywhere. What's the bother? Are we worried about a closet fire? I can have my shirts.
I guess it's so.
I get it. I still have some of my clothes from high school, and I'm 40, so.
Well, you can still fit into your clothes from high school.
Not me. I have like 5 pairs of pants and 5 shirts, and that's all I wear.
You're like, and I'm done.
and I'm done.
I love that.
I mean, that's typically what I wear, 5 and 5, or
But I get rid
my
of my
uniform.
stuff.
I don't get rid of my stuff. That's for sure.
I don't like it.
I did like last year. I got rid of like 10 or 12 things off the rack in there.
Good job.
Yeah,
We're proud of you.
Absolutely, 12 a year.
But then you go and fill it with like these business jackets for one-time use.
Oh, the sport coat?
Yes.
Okay, I got a good use out of it. Everybody loved it. I looked fabulous.
Good job.
And I can wear it again.
I hope not.
I would say another random thing in our junk drawer is, you know how when you buy something and it comes with like the little anchor and the screws and like extra anchors and screws?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I need to keep these in case something happens and I need to reuse them, and you put them in there, and then there's all these little packets
Yeah.
See, I don't
of
think
random
like that.
screws everywhere.
I don't even use the screws stuff comes with. I'm like, it looks fine to me.
Yeah. Just put that on the
Go
floor.
ahead and sit on that. Let's see if you stay
It's
upright.
fine. I'll have screws left over, and I'm like, it's still standing.
See, if I have screws
Looks like
over,
they gave
I
us
keep
10
'em.
extra. For some reason, they say they gave us 10 extra
Or
of
like
everything.
even when you buy pool floaties and they come with that little itty bitty patch.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to use it.
Ever.
I'm just going to throw the floaty away and I'm going to go buy a new one. But
Right.
do I keep them? Yes. What
right.
am I going to do with that? Nobody has any idea.
Well, you never know when you have to patch your waterbed.
I always wanted
You know how
one.
Guy would know about patching a waterbed?
'Cause
I didn't
he
have to
had them.
patch mine, but I had.
You did have one.
I did. It was nice because you turn on the heater underneath that thing
Oh, that does
in the wintertime.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't waveless though. It was a full bladder. Like you would sink down in that sucker. You had to be prepared to get on the waterbed.
Oh, Lord.
I love
Could you
that.
imagine trying to get out of it now?
Can you imagine how
Oh.
how many ladies I had to give a safety briefing to?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yes, many, so many.
This is how you get
hundreds of
A
ladies.
safety brief.
I
can't
need
get
you
out.
to sign here, please. It's a release of obligation.
Sign here. Welcome to douchatorium.
Gonna break.
You're dumb.
in. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. If you have things in your junk drawer that we didn't mention here, let us know. Show us a picture of your junk drawer, maybe featured on some of our social medias over at where?
BDEpodcast.com.
Sadly, nothing in the mailbag. What are you people doing out there? We have fans. Send us some fan mail, some encouragement. Just tell us you're listening. Say good things about Guy and tell us how the other ladies don't do much over here. I don't know what it is. Just send us some fan mail. Head over to our socials or website and show us some love.
Just the tip, quick pickleball wisdom, in and out before you know it. So this one is coming to you from personal experience. We take a drills and skills class on Wednesdays with Coach Dave from Heights Athletic Club.
Shout out Big Daddy Dave.
And I've always heard like who covers middle and they say cross, like the person
Like diagonal.
diagonal from you, if they have the ball, then you cover middle. Every time I go to play, I'm like, what? Crisscross applesauce? I don't know what's going on. Like, it's so fast that I can't focus.
Same.
So when we were there last week, and I know this is a longer just the tip, but it totally clicked. He said, when the person in front of you has the ball, you cover your line. I was like, okay, that
Like
makes
the outside line.
yeah,
Okay.
your outside line. I'm like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm like, that is so much easier.
Who's
than saying,
diagonal?
Who's diagonal? They diagonal, then I cover the middle. It's like if they're across from you and they have the ball, you cover your line.
Got it.
So that means the other person then covers the middle, which is the cross thing. But I don't know why that I was just like, oh, I get it now. Like totally made more sense. So the cross thing might work for people, but for my brain, The
person in front of me.
The second he said that, I was like, I got you.
Nice.
Thanks, Big Daddy Dave.
Just the tip.
It's time for Pickle Pals.
Well, this is going to be a test of endurance here. Our guest has done over 100 mountain bike races, multiple Ironmans, 50,000 trail races, 50 milers, 100-mile ultra marathons. Josh Sprague, he founded Orange Mud in 2012 to solve his own hydration problem, as you can imagine. Then moved to the United States of Texas. We're very humble people out here. Launched Seven Clay Custom Apparel, and he has played pickleball before, and he's in Liberty Hill, Texas, right down the road from us, providing custom gear that you and your pickleball community can get involved with. We'll talk about that. From extreme endurance to Dink culture and everything in between, welcome to Big Dink Energy Podcast, Josh Sprague. Thanks so much for being here, man.
Thanks for having me on. Beautiful day in Texas.
Oh, it is. It is a great day out there. So get out there. It's going to be a little warm, but we're Texans. We're resilient, and we expect the warmth. I can just say personally, for me, I'm so happy I still have green grass this late into the late into the season.
The grasses are crazy right now.
I can't believe the amount of rain we got around here.
Yeah.
So 100 mountain bike races, trail races, 50 milers, ultra marathons. Pretty extreme resume, right? When did you first discover you were an extreme person?
Okay, real talk for a second. If you're out here listening to us argue about scissors and box cutters and thinking, I kind of like her energy, and you happen to run something, anything, your lawn care side hustle, that Etsy shop, or the Instagram you've posted twice on this year, go find me at stephaniebeverage.com. Take the quiz, book a chat, or just steal some free business advice and never tell me. That's it. Back to the chaos.
Well, I guess I would never really, I probably should associate with that. But, I played sports in school like most people do. But once I got out, I've always liked riding my bike. And that's really what started everything. And I did a short mountain bike race one day, and it kind of led to another and another and another. Next thing you know, I'm doing super long mountain bike races, multi-100-mile races. And, then I jumped into adventure racing. So I've always liked to run also. So I ran and I bike and I kayak and I'd race, 12, 24, 48-hour, multi-day, just whatever.
Wow.
A lot of fun stuff. It's just fun to just push your body and see what you can achieve.
Yeah, I love that. Have you done 24 hours in the canyon? I think it's like out in Amarillo
I haven't,
or something.
but I've done 7 different races just like it.
Yeah.
Well, just up to 24 hours in the Pueblo and 24 hours of adrenaline and many.
Okay. So I was watching while I'm on the treadmill. I just had a total knee replacement, so I'm out trying to get into running again. And I put one on. It was Rich Froning, CrossFit champion, and he was doing 24 hours in the canyon. I'm just like, how freaking extreme. And then, of course, the thing that came up, after about race 6 or 7 for him is just how much his butt hurt. And so I can only imagine out there in those races, that's like one of the things that are just, okay, this is raw, but I've got 8 more legs to do, right?
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of the benefits of that sort of adventure racing, a stage race or a triathlon even, is, you ride for a long time, and then you're excited to run. Like, man, my butt hurts. I can't wait to run. And then you're like, then you're running forever. You're like, man, my feet hurt. I can't wait to paddle. And then you paddle and you're like, God, my back hurts. I can't wait to bike again.
Yeah.
But it's in the other part that's crazy about endurance cycling is that it used to be, like a 50-mile ride was a long ways. And then now, like, I don't even worry. I'd go in boxer shorts for a couple 100 miles without even thinking about it. It's fine. After a while, you just you either learn to block out pain. Well, you do. That's one piece.
For sure.
And then the other is you probably learn a little bit more about your bike fit, which is really, really helpful. A lot of people don't have their bikes fitted properly, so your butt is going to get destroyed. So, but that being said, when you do, I've done like the longest race I've ever did was 720 miles, and after that, I could feel I had the stitches of my chamois in my bike bib. Yeah, you could see them in the bottom of my butt cheeks.
Oh my gosh!
Cut me. But when you spend, that was 5 days on a bicycle straight, and that hurt.
My god! Yeah, I was going to ask how long that is. That's 5 days.
Yeah, like 4.5.
Now there's breaks in there though, right?
A couple hours, maybe. I usually sleep in a ditch, or maybe get a cheap hotel or something. I think that one mostly slept in ditches. But yeah, I've done a lot of stupid things. Even, like I did a 360 a few years ago, and that was just a straight 360 miles, and it took
Oh my
34
gosh.
hours, and it was just nonstop pedaling, with the exception of stopping at a gas station to get some pizza and a Dr. Pepper, and keeping going. That was it.
Now, are there big checks at the end of that, or is it just bragging rights, plastic
huge
trophies?
checks. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. $0. Yeah, huge check for $0. The check is a big check mark that you draw on a piece of paper. Oh, I did that. Yeah. Most of these, no. And unfortunately, most of these sports in general, you're lucky to make a few grand or something. Maybe.
Sure.
But most, it's like just pride, and that's all it is. There's some incredible races that I've done that are no charge. There's some incredible, like Cannonball 550, one of the greatest races I've ever done. I've done it twice, and they charge nothing. It's free. And it's just, if you're dumb enough to sign up and show up at the Grand Depart with a bunch of other yahoos, then we all go for it. And whoever finishes. And there's no reward. There's no cost. It's just a test of human endurance.
So Kansas, right? That's where you grew up?
Mm-hmm.
Horse farms, wagon trains, all that kind of stuff. Did that kind of shape your approaches to the challenges, the innovation and frustration stuff that you're solving for?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of it just came down to, you just have to figure things out.
Right.
And, things break. And, when you grow up a country kid and doing all the crazy redneck stuff I did, we didn't have a lot of money. So, and things broke. You just had to fix it. Or sometimes I would break things just so I could fix it because you're bored, and I'm not going to say I always did. I was always one of them kids who take electronics apart thinking I could make them improved. And normally they just ended up broken. But it's when it comes to mechanical things, I was always pretty good. I mean, I built tree houses, and I've even told people my first job, I was technically an arms dealer for my first job. I used to make rubber band machine guns and pistols, and I'd sell them in school to my friends. Yeah, they just shot rubber bands, but they were still pretty cool. But I mean, I was doing that when I was like 7 or 8 years old and using jigsaws and sawzalls and stuff in the garage. And in hindsight, I can't believe my dad let me use all the tools when I was so little.
Yeah, that's important, a part of growing up. So, I mean, being the Lord of War of the playground, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it is, my son, let's learn how this saw works. Let's see you use it. Now, we did work on a cross-cut saw first because I need you to understand how a saw works, and I want to see you put some sweat equity in. But then we'll jump up to some bigger stuff. So I absolutely love that. And I grew up in Vermont, so I'm kind of same with you. Side of a mountain, I can see my neighbor with binoculars. You just figure things out.
Yep.
So, you solved your hydration problem. Like, necessity is the mother of invention, right? I worked for a company called Blackhawk. The owner of the company he was a SEAL, started the company because he had a backpack break on him in a critical moment. So he's like, I can do this better. And so with you, I'm guessing with the orange mud, it was kind of the same thing, right? Is that what I read, where your hydration systems just weren't working for you and you had to come up with your own?
Exactly. Yeah. I always hated the waist belts. A lot of people used to always run with waist belts and handhelds. And I've always been a backpack nerd. And then as an adventure racer, we did things that were, they were dangerous. You're out there racing in the middle of frickin' who knows where, and running out of water was one of the most dangerous things that could happen.
For sure.
And so having a backpack that would hold all your essentials and be able to, make sure it got to the finish line with you was important. So it was when I was training for Ironman St. George is when I just hit my breaking point. I was so sick of waist belts and handhelds. It made running not fun. I've never really liked running. I always tell people it's odd I own a running company because I don't really like to run. I run a lot. I don't understand the psychology behind that. Like, I don't get runner's high. I've never had a runner's high. I've never understood it. I maybe have a mountain bike high, but I don't get runner's high. Running is just always hard, but I enjoy it. But yeah, so it was when I was training for an Ironman, and this one day, it wasn't the day I designed it, but it was the day that got the ball in motion. I was on this mile loop, and I went out there and I ran it multiple times, and I stashed a water bottle. And on one of the loops, this was in Orange County in California, and when I was making this loop, I came around and on one loop I saw a homeless guy walking down the sidewalk, and another loop I saw a coyote run by my bottle. And then on the third loop or whatever, when I stopped to get a drink, it tasted like urine, and it was either the homeless guy or the coyote. Somebody did something to that bottle. I don't know. Somebody peed on it, and it was when I just hit a point where I'm like, you know what, I got to build something better. And after my son was born, I realized neither one of my wife and I could continue working the amount of hours that we did in our day jobs. That's when I'd always had this idea to put a water bottle up high on your back, and it would be more stable, be easy to access, and you carry just your essentials: credit card, phone, cash for the beer garden after a race, and your water. And that's it. And So yeah, I just went out and built it one night, and out of a gun holster, a waist pack, and a ratchet strap, and a hotel room sewing kit, and went for a test run, and it worked. It looked terrible, but it worked great. And 10 months later, we had a functional prototype, and we still sell it to this day. And then we've kind of grown everything from there. So it's been fun.
That's a real Tony Stark Iron Man story right there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, sure.
Is there no, like, I don't do races like that, obviously, but is there no mid-race cigar that you put in there also? So, just halfway through the race, you just pull out a big stogie?
It's got shoulder pockets, man. You can put your lighter there and your cigar on the other side. I've got some pockets. You could probably put a waterproof bag in and be fine.
That's great.
You got to celebrate at the end,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm celebrating after mile 1, like, oh my gosh, look how far I got. But then it's usually, okay, look how far I have to go back now.
Yeah, that is always the hard part. That's what makes it fun.
So, with the 100-milers, I watched this guy on TikTok. You probably know who he is. He looks like his shorts look like they're jeans. And And I'm just watching this, and I'm like, what is your body going through? Like, mile 10, that's doable. Mile, 15, and we see the 26 milers, the marathons out there. But at mile past 26, what's your body going through? Can you kind of describe that for us?
Yeah. Well, I'll say it in two ways. So one thing that I've always found is that marathons are extremely hard because it's pavement and then you're forced to run really fast. And I think one of the reasons why so many people jump into the sport of trail and ultra running is because it's, I think it's more beautiful. You see, nature, which is great versus pavement and 40,000 butts. But one of the nicest parts of trails is that they're softer. Then marathons, man, they beat you up. So in a marathon, you'll get a good taste of what it's like to run a giant distance because most people are going to have their feet and their shins destroyed about mile 18 to 26. Now, when you do a trail race, I would say the first 50K, the first 31 miles is really, it's pretty much like running a marathon. I think it's easier to run a 50K, 31 miles than running a marathon at 26.2. Wow. But even 50 miles, I would almost venture to say is in many ways, in many races, easier than running a marathon. But once you go above 50 miles, then you have a whole bunch of different fun things happen. And one of the things that often happens to a lot of ultra runners is you get to throw up a lot. And that's, it's usually a factor of poor nutrition. You're trying, it's like everybody, right? Like, I ran 10 miles this weekend, therefore I get to eat a gallon of ice cream. That doesn't work if you want to lose weight. It's fine to justify that. It's just, it's not exactly going to help you. But that's one of the things that often happens in trail ultra races is that you really discover what nutrition doesn't work for you. And sometimes that's obviously just poor choices of eating, a massive amount of peanut butter cups and gummy bears, which no offense, right. I've done it. But that being said, a lot of times you discover that nutrition that you can drink for an hour or two when you're training at your home turf is fine. But upon really long distance, your stomach says, not a fan. I don't like this. Yeah. Good luck. You're getting ready to meet the hunched over and throwing up on the side of the trail. So that's usually step one. And then step two
You're really selling this to us. Keep going.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, it's totally great. You should do it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. But then the next phase is just that pain phase. And that is, there's not very many people that finish 100 miles that don't have extreme foot destroy. And that's going to be blisters, rotting, bruising. And then usually there's knees and hips that kind of start to, get sideways too for many people. So that, running 100 miles is not for the faint of heart. It's something that there's, very high DNF rate in most of the races because it's even for the most fit, you still need things to go right. And it's easy
DNF
for things to go wrong.
Did not finish, right?
Did not finish, yeah. Yeah, or did not make there's did not finish. And sometimes you can finish, but you'll be unofficial because you don't meet the time cutoff. And I've done that. I ran the Leadville 100.
Oh, my gosh.
I twisted an ankle once really bad, and I broke 4 metatarsals in another one. And I only made it to 72 miles on both times. And they pulled me because I wasn't fast enough. I was still going, but I didn't meet the cutoff times.
72. What a quitter you are.
Yeah, it was. It broke my heart. So yeah, it's 100-mile distance is brutal, but 50 and under, I genuinely believe many people ought to experience it because it's a fantastic distance. Above that, you got to really want it, and that's when you also realize how much grit you have because it comes down to a lot of grit after that.
Oh, I bet, yeah, and I'm guessing the mental aspect after a certain number of miles, maybe even those legs where you're just all by yourself, right?
Yep.
You may see another runner way up there, but you're still by yourself and trying to motivate yourself. It's tough.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. The mental is the biggest thing in pretty much any endurance sports. You can tell yourself that it doesn't hurt And if you tell yourself that enough, it'll go away, for the flesh wounds. But I mean, obviously you have some broken bone, you might not be able to proceed, or continue, but it is an incredible test of your mental strength. And it's honestly, it's to me, one of the coolest parts of human psychology is that you can block out pain, things that you would think would stop you. And I've seen people that have quit these races where I'm like, why'd you quit? Why are you stopping? They're like, I hurt. I'm like, you were just running with me. I ran a race with a buddy of mine and he quit. Like we came in at mile 50. He just stopped. I'm like, dude, you're doing great. Like we've been telling stories and having a good time. He's like, no, my hip hurts. I'm done. I'm like, well, I mean,
wow,
you're going to drive 15 hours tomorrow. Why not just finish running this thing and then go home the next day? I mean, you'll find a lot of chinks in people's armor and things people you'd never guess. People you feel like, man, that's one tough guy or tough girl, and all of a sudden you just see that some people, they have that negative demon in them that can take over and make them just decide that they won't finish. But that's what it is. They decided they wouldn't finish.
Yeah, we see that a lot in the special operations community, Ranger School, Special Forces selection, and all that. The brain stops you way before your body ever would.
Yeah,
and people just don't finish because of that. Nothing wrong with them. It's just that they weren't ready mentally. Yeah. Now, when you're out there doing those, you got to have a killer playlist or just a book. Maybe the Tolstein series for the 100 milers.
Sure.
So, I mean, is that right?
Sometimes, yeah. Like 1 year, for example, when I did Cannonball 550, that took me 3 days and 8 hours, I think, to bike that distance, and I listened to absolutely nothing the whole entire time. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh!
It was like I talked to myself. I told myself stories. I just talked to birds, turtles and cows, lots of cows, and it's just it is something that I think if you challenge yourself to not engage with any electronics with some of these events, you will learn more about yourself. Mm-hmm. But then the next year I listened to Shackleton's Endurance. And I think that was only one of the books because it was, same thing. I think it was like 3 days and 7 hours. And so yeah. And I listen to a lot of books on, history, SEALs, business, comedy, sci-fi. It's all over the place. But one of my favorites for people that like to do stupid things is Endurance. It's about Shackleton's adventures to the Arctic. And when you listen to that book and they spent 5 years or something in the ice, you'll realize there's nothing that you're doing ever. And I don't believe there's hardly anybody left in modern day that have endured the amount of pain and suffering that crew did. If you read that book, it'll just blow your mind. But yeah, that one's one of my absolute favorites. I haven't read it for years now, but that in 438 days, you listen to a guy drifting across the ocean for 438 days. You're like, there's nothing I'm doing that's that hard.
Yeah. Wow.
Ever.
How insignificant am I right now?
Yeah. You realize you feel like you're tough and you're like, man, I don't think I could have even made it. I wouldn't have got past day one of eating seal blubber, and I feel like I'm pretty tough, but man, it's like, I think, there's a different level, especially in the Arctic explorers of years past in the 1800s and early 1900s. It is just astonishing if you read into those books. So
no, I've always said if I had to settle, with the West, it wouldn't be settled. You know what I mean? I'd still be wherever I landed, just boo-hooing myself and hoping somebody else comes along and does
sure. Yep.
So Orange Mud is up there now. It's top 3, if not number 1. I'm sure it's number 1. What surprised you most about the success of that story?
Well, the first would be that when I designed the initial backpack, that was all I had. I was like, I wrote my trademark based upon multiple industries and bike and run and pet products, but I really didn't have any other ideas, to be honest. And it was something that I thought it would just be its own product. And I really didn't, I never would have thought that we would, have the business we do today. And so a lot of that really came about through our ambassador program is extremely essential in helping me to come up with other ideas because they're like, hey, I like this pack, but can you put pockets? Or I like that pack, can you use 2 bottles? Or I like that pack, but I don't really like the look of it cosmetically. Can you make a bladder pack? Because that's what I prefer. And then we make bladder packs. And then, it just kind of everything kept growing from there. So, the success really ebbed and flowed as a result of customer feedback.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been a, a really wild ride, and it's fun to have a business that's a passion-based product that, we get to use. Like my son and I just got back from 5 days of mountain biking in Moab with a bunch of buddies of mine, and we wore our packs the whole time. And then like my wife and daughter mixed up with us, and we went hiking and goofing off. And same thing, we wore our packs. And that's kind of cool to be able to, go and take your adventures across the U.S. and be wearing your own kit and seeing other people wear it in races and whatnot. So yeah, that part's been great. But as far as the surprise, I guess surprised it worked. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. Bird direct to consumer is a absolute monster. It's
for sure
ripe with never-ending challenges in today's crazy market, and complaints and everything. And fortunately, we're actually pretty good on that side. We educate people quite well with our website and post purchase emails, which really reduces any confusion with use cases and fit and whatnot. But it's more of like battling the Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos of the world that sucks every penny of your ad spend away and takes the profit at the end of the day down to couple expired pennies.
Crazy. It is. Yeah.
But it's fun.
And then so 2019, make the move to Texas, and then immediately launch 7 Clay, right? Tell us about 7 Clay and kind of the impetus or the origin story for that.
Sure. So I designed this seat cover called the Transition Seat Wrap. It's a changing towel and seat cover in one for Orange Mud, and I'd outsourced the embroidery of it for years. So we have like stores and teams and clubs that we put their logos on it, and we were outsourcing 6 figures a year in embroidery and screen print of that product. And we had been for years. And we had always, everything we do is with attention to detail and with quality being the number one focal point. And with embroidery, when it's something you outsource, you lose that control. And we had vendors we liked. They were good people, but we didn't understand. I never understood. I'm like, God, can't that logo look better? And I fought with them all those years, and you just kind of, they always are just like, Josh, you just don't understand. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe I don't. And then when we moved to Texas, we not only had bad quality, but we had a hard time finding anybody to take our work. And again, I'm trying to outsource 6 figures of business a year. And it was like pulling teeth to get people to take our work, which I just found amazing. And I mean, I like to this day, Orange Mud is, if somebody came to me at Orange Mud size in my 7 Clay business, I would be like, yes, I will fly to meet you somewhere.
No brainer.
And here I'm having a hard time getting some little mom and pop shops local to us to take our work. And I just couldn't believe it. And even my screen print guy, he told me, he's like, I talked to my wife into doing your work. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I outsourced an incredible amount. There's no talking into. I'm like, Jesus, and
that's crazy.
And so that was, we moved here in June of 19. And then September of 19, I came home one day and I said, hey, honey, I just spent $58,000 on an embroidery machine, and we're going to put some people out of business because I wanted to hurt the local people. And I genuinely did. I was mad that I had to start another business. That was total BS. Here I'm trying to help some other business grow, and I can't hardly get people to call me back. So I'm going to hurt you. And I did. And we put some other people around us out of business, and I could care less. Yeah. And now 7 Clay is actually bigger than Orange Mud. But again, it's just that industry. It is and has always been full of flaky shops. And there's plenty of good ones, of course. I'm not to knock everybody, but there's a lot of flaky shops in that business. And so we jumped into it to do our own business, and immediately Orange Mud became a back seat in our own business because all the other business started coming in. And in the sporting goods space, from all the events I sponsored and whatnot, a lot of people are like, hey, you got these embroidery machines, can you make patches? I'm like, I don't know, I think so. I guess we'll find out. But within 48 hours, we were better than anybody else we'd outsourced to. And so the very first logo that we did, our products, we branded Fleet Feet on the Transition Wrap for over 185 stores. And so we've made this many times with multiple embroidery shops. And so I'd argued with them all. I'm like, man, it's just text. It's real easy. It's a big running store. I'm like, it's really easy logo. And they were all like, you don't understand. We literally were doing a better job within 48 hours than anybody we'd ever outsourced to. And all I did to my digitizer is I said, hey, can you make it more dense? And he's like, ooh, that runtime is going to go from like an hour and a half or a minute and a half to like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm like, well, it takes me 5 minutes to load the machine. So if it runs less than 5 minutes, it doesn't cost me any different. Maybe an extra nickel and thread. And I was like, it's fine. And that's what set the bar. And then I realized these other shops just didn't try. And that's the story for most businesses, as everybody knows. The bar for success is so low in business. And, no one expects to Like you can call Orange Mud or Seven Clay and you will get a hold of a human. You
That's
can't even
fantastic.
call most businesses, right?
Yeah,
And
no
it's so
kidding.
simple that people thank us. They're on Orange Mud or Seven Clay. We get more thanks than anything else. And it's like, you realize you're thanking us you paid us. Like, I mean, thank you for thinking of us. That's really nice. But I mean, you're the one that paid us. Like, thanks for paying us. But ultimately it's because the bar is so low that it's really easy to be better than pretty much everybody else. So it's just sad, but
over delivering is your motto on everything you do. That clearly comes through in our chat here.
Sure.
So and when everybody is a race to the bottom to make sure I have enough margin, quality is always going to suffer.
Yeah, and that is sadly what I think a lot of the American consumer has become trained to do as a result of Amazon and Temu and Shine and all these other things.
Gosh.
It's cheap is cheap, right? And that is one of the cruxes of what we do today. We see brands on the Seven Clay side, our competition, that will sell a hat for $10, and I'm like, that hat almost costs that, and then you have to embroider it. And I think, what's the agenda there? Is this just another Chinese-owned business that is maybe trying to kill off all American businesses? So I guess long-term they get it? I don't know. I got nothing. There's things when I see some of the pricing, we're the first to say, hey, sorry, okay, you get a better price. Good luck. We'll keep our number because you'll probably call us back when you get them and they look like crap if you get them. And that happens more than not. So we've... Just like Orange Mud, we just stick to our guns with what we believe in, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, speed, quality, and price, right?
Yeah, yep.
So you're probably a serial entrepreneur. What's brewing? What's the future? What's the innovation from frustration that's brewing right now?
Yeah, moto has been a new thing for me, and I got a adventure bike last year. It's just a small little, it's a Yamaha TW200. It's a little fat, slow bike, and it's awesome. It's just like right my style. It's like riding a golden retriever on dirt roads.
that's a nice way to put it.
It's just awesome. It is, man. It's awesome. So I absolutely love that. And I think that as a lot of us endurance nuts that have been kind of growing up in this culture all these years are looking for that next thing, I do see more and more people, and I talk with more and more people that are talking about motos. So I do plan on, and I have it on my clipboard, one of the not very many tasks on there to work on a moto pack for adventure biking.
Nice.
Just to be able to carry your bare essentials for moto. And that's an area that I'm really excited to expand our product portfolio into. And I've thought about the pickleball side. I don't know that I don't feel like I'd bring anything really genuinely super needed. It's different when you're stabilizing a pack, but in pickleball, it's like show up at the court. You don't need a lot of gear. It's one of the beautiful parts about it, but you don't have to have it real super stable because you're going for a run carrying your pickleball paddles, but when it comes to, running and biking, it all comes down to stability. And otherwise you start to hate the gear you're carrying. So that's definitely a big focal point, and we'll continue the push of run and we have some other new stuff coming out this year. So we're excited about it.
Awesome. How's everybody going to get a hold of you? Get the packs, get the embroidery. Where are they going to go for all that?
Yeah, at orangemud.com. If you look us up on the web, or 7 SEBENCLAY. Clay is our embroidery, screen print, custom apparel, shirt, everything business. But or if anybody's in Round Rock, Texas, come by our shop. We'd love to have people in. We have a really cool how it's made facility. You can come in and see all the different aspects of manufacturing, and from full cut and sew, and we make all kinds of crazy stuff in there.
Man, that's any Round Rock donuts there at the shop?
We've had them there from time to time. Yeah. The older I get, I try not to eat them dang things, man. I try to stick with meat and veggies, and I still put on a Billy. But you
got to run 100 miles to run one of those giant things off,
and then you end up eating a bunch of them. And then it just goes right back on. So that's a problem.
Josh, man, thanks so much for being on. Love having you. We could just talk for hours, it seems like, and I'll definitely make sure the family runs by the shop and see what you got going on down there. Thanks for being on the Big Dink Energy podcast.
Love to have you in. Thanks.
It's time for Pick Six.
Pick Six, that segment where we take one question, we each bring two answers to the table and immediately regret this. I hope you're playing along at home. Today's Pick Six is instant red flags. Anything. It could be anything in life. Instant red flag. Could be boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter. Things that for you are just instant red flags about somebody.
Instant red flag for me, if you film yourself helping homeless people and post about it.
Oh.
Red flag.
Yes.
I absolutely hate that.
Yep. 100%. I agree with that. I would say for me in pickleball, when you introduce yourself by asking somebody what their skill level is instead of what their name is.
Oh. Red flag.
Yeah. I don't want to be near you.
I went a little bit deeper on these. Someone that eats their pizza with a knife and fork. That's a red flag.
I like to eat my pizza with a knife and fork.
Red flag, paddle princess.
So I can dip it in my dippy dips.
Red flag, paddle princess.
Oh, man.
Mine would be people who treat customer service workers like they're beneath them.
100%. I cannot stand that.
This happened 30 years ago, and I still remember it. I was shopping with a friend in high school, and she was trying on clothes, and she left them all in the room, and she was like, there's people that do that. And from
no.
I still remember that to this day.
Ew.
And if she's on Facebook, she ain't doing too well. Just saying. I'm just saying, I do not like that.
I don't.
Everybody is equal. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My next one would be when you start the sentence off with, well, I'm an empath. I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done.
Well, I'm not, so I'll see you
I
later.
am definitely not.
I'm done with this conversation.
Well, I'm a realist. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Get your snacks out of your bag. Another one for me that really tells me everything I need to know about somebody is clipping your fingernails in public.
Ooh.
Ooh, ew. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Who does that?
Oh,
Yes.
gross.
I travel. I see it at the airport all the time.
No way.
No.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anybody do their toenails?
I see
That's
that's the other
gross.
thing. I see too many exposed toes from males in an airport for my liking. and the number I need to see is 0.
Oh, red flags.
That's
for
crazy.
sure. Immediately, straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail. You tell us what your red flags out there in life. Get up in our socials over at bdpodcast.com.
News you can use.
Let me toss it over to you, Stephanie.
So I thought we would dive into one of the most fascinating mysteries in our sport.
Okay.
So the courts are absolutely packed. The paddle stacking, they're overflowing. But why are we not watching the pros? So look at these numbers. 24.3 million. That's how many people play pickleball in the United States. It's massive, obsessive community, right?
Right.
7.5 million are the core players. So people like us, the people who play on the weekends, do drills and skills. They
Gotcha.
live and breathe this game. 7.5 million. 150 to 200. That's the elite. The touring pros on the PPA and the MLP circuits.
Wow.
24.3 million play, and about 200 of them are touring pros. That means for every one pro out there, there are 120,000 of us grinding at like the local parks.
Wow.
But here's where it gets really interesting. When the Pro Tour hit major networks, they can draw up to 800,000 casual viewers because people flip the channels and kind of watch for a little bit. But when you look at the hardcore streaming like YouTube, where the true fans actually go, live peak matches usually average 15 to 40,000 viewers.
Ooh.
So the data tells us
Still
that,
more than the WNBA.
True. The data tells us that less than 2% of total players and under 10% of core players actively follow the pro brackets.
I know that. That's true for me.
It really leaves like an interesting question. Why is pickleball so uniquely addictive to play, but so tough to convert into a spectator sport?
Oh, yeah. Well, so we went to the MLP when it was in Austin. I think they do Austin, and it was fun to watch that level of play, the pro players. But I don't know that I'm making it a destination. Maybe I would, because there were opportunities where you could play on those courts. You know, we could have if we wanted to. There was downtime on those courts.
Yeah, I think it's because the game is just fun and it's hard to sit still and just watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people watch tennis, right? So,
But do they?
yeah. If you look at Wimbledon, they are all the stands are always packed. But that's the premier event, right? That's like going to the World Series of
premier
tennis.
event.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Also, I think that pickleball, in a sense, with the pro leagues, is still semi-new. So people don't really know the players all that well. They haven't built that rapport. I mean, people who are Dallas Cowboy fans are Dallas Cowboy fans. They're going to watch the game. They're going to make it a point to watch the game. People still haven't gotten to that level of commitment yet with sports with pickleball yet.
So I think it's because the magic of pickleball is in doing the sport.
It is a lot more fun to watch.
I like that.
To play
There's
than to
so many
watch.
people out there that are like, they're not going to play football. They'll watch it, but they're not going to play. But we all
Right.
like to play. And so when we're watching it, I think we're like, ugh, we want to play. Like, I don't want to sit and watch it. I mean, I do watch it. Y'all know I do watch it. But I just don't think the people out there, the core players or even your rec players are that interested in it because they'd just rather be playing.
Or maybe it's because it is so accessible to the masses. Like you said, with it, for whatever reason, people watch the Dallas Cowboys. At the adult level, it's not accessible to us.
Oh, that's very true. That's
right?
a good point too.
Right.
Professional basketball, we can go to a pickup game at a court that's like pickleball, right? It's accessible there. So, maybe we're getting more watchers on that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
and
it's
I guess
accessibility.
And another thing I was thinking, and I might be wrong, but like golf and tennis or whatever is individual sport, and so is pickleball with the PPA. It's like the individuals in the team. So you're having to like a specific individual. So if you don't know who those people are, you're not following them, then there's no reason for you to tune in. And then with the MLP, while it is teams, they've been trading so much and so last minute. Like one, you're part of Chicago Slice, the next minute you're over here, and you're talking week to week. So you can't really like a team without liking a player, but if you like the player, then you're going to switch to liking the where they go. So now you have none of those die-hard team fans like Patriot fans, right?
Yes.
The best fans in the NFL.
So I think that may be hard because there's no connection, because it's like, oh, I love this team because I love these players. Oh, they got traded. Oh, let me go jump over there.
Yeah, but look at that, though, because why don't we wear, what is the Austin team? I can't remember, Rebels or something like that. Why don't I wear Austin Rebels gear? I mean, that's
Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Texas Rangers. Why don't I wear Rangers gear? They're my regional team. They would be who I would resonate within the MLP, which I definitely resonate with that more than the PPA. So why don't I wear their gear? It doesn't matter the individual players. If I'm into pickleball, I'm into pickleball teams, and wear their gear. But I just don't,
because you're not a diehard yet.
Right. I don't
Those
think I will be. I don't think
yet.
I will be.
Yeah.
Well,
we're not really sports watchers anyway.
Right.
Let's get that clear. Like, we don't watch sports in general.
I watch a lot of sports.
But as far as I know, like, I do watch pickleball tournaments just because most of the time it's fun to see it at such a high level, and then when you go play, you're like, okay.
Right.
Like,
so I do like to see that, but I don't know. I just thought those were some great numbers. Like, you're talking 27 million people.
Wow.
Well, maybe that's the reason we haven't. Well, there's several reasons, and we all know what they are. But I think that's also one reason we haven't broken into the Olympics yet. If it was widely accepted, widely watched, and widely adopted at the pro level, then it would definitely be an Olympic sport.
But do you think it will, going back to your widely accessible, like, people like to watch gymnastics because it's not accessible. Like, people aren't doing that at the park at that level.
Right.
And tennis, people aren't doing that at the park at that level because ain't nobody at those tennis courts. Football, luge, whatever,
luge.
whatever, what I'm talking. Extreme biking and the skiing and all of those things in the Olympics are not in your local park.
No, but I think that, like, again, those sports have been around for a very long time. And a lot of people grew up doing gymnastics, playing football, doing all of those different sports in their region. And so that's what they connect with.
So you think it's going to take a generational cycle?
I think it may.
So, like, our kids will want to watch pickleball?
My kids won't, because they think it's cringe that we play pickleball. So
our kids play with us.
Yeah.
Mine are like, no, I don't want to play with you, Mom. No, I don't want to play with you, Mom.
It's interesting. It's just an interesting fact that this sport has attracted so many people playing but not watching, which I would prefer. I'd rather people play than watch. So if they had to choose one or the other, I would rather everybody be playing. So anyways, thought I'd say news you can use.
There you go.
Take it to the water cooler tomorrow and get looked at weird. That's it for this episode. Unless you've got something to say, think we got it wrong, have a better take, we want to hear it. Find us at bdepodcast.com or at BDE Podcast on the socials. Drop us a message. We might just feature you in the next episode. If you had a good time, well, samesies. If not, maybe try again. We grow on people. So you know the deal. Follow the show, tell a friend, and leave us a review. Or just pretend this never happened. Until next time, keep the dink soft and the energy big.